Hello, everyone in the Conscious Business Festival. I am so happy to see you guys here today. My name is Megan Alton, and I'm going to be sharing with you about prosperity codes today. So, I am just going to keep an eye on the comments because I'm hoping as you pop in, you say hi, you let me know you're here, and I'm really excited to share something with you today. And what I'm going to share, I'm going to tell you some stories. I'm going to help you to understand a few important pieces about yourself. So, as I said, my name is Megan Alton. I came across the concept of numerology about 11 years ago. 11, right? It's like the number from the universe, right? 1111. And if you ever see repeating number patterns, comment, let me know in the chat. And it meant so much to me because at the time I had just started my business coaching, like my coaching business, and I was a business coach, and I had one child. I have three children now. And as I went into the business coaching world, I had this story I carried with me my entire life, and it was, you are too sensitive. And growing up, it was like, you're too sensitive. And it's like, oh, okay, I need to try to be tougher. I need to try to let things roll off my back better. I need to not get so worked up over stuff. And this woman looked at my numerology chart and she said to me, "You're sensitive, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, yes, I am." And she's like, and I said, "I'm working on this. This is something I'm aware of." And she's like, "No, your sensitivity is your gift." And in that moment, I just had this mind blowing moment. And so I invite you to sit down and think to yourself, like, what are those times in my life where I've been told I'm either too much this or not enough that? Okay. If you've carried any of those stories about being too much of something or not enough of something else, what I often find is this isn't actually an element of your code, of your numerology code. And when you understand where it is in your chart and why you have that code, you can actually work with it to support you, because every single energy has an opportunity as well as a challenge. And if we're kind of stuck in this vibe of like struggling around something, it's often because we're stuck in the challenge of it. And so today I'm going to share with you your prosperity codes. We're going to learn a little bit about who we are, the gifts that we carry. We're also going to learn a little bit about what's happening in our personal life, how the energy is unfolding for the next 12 months. And then we're finally going to learn what's happening at the collective level, right? So when you look at numerology, you can look at your personal chart, but you can also look at the universal chart, which is what's going on for everybody else. And it's when you look at those in combination that the magic happens, because we are not islands. We are who we are in relation to the world around us. We know who we are based on the interactions we have with others. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, if you are someone who's out there trying to make a positive impact in the world, understanding where everybody else is at is critical to knowing what are the right actions for you to be taking. So I integrate numerology into business coaching, into strategic planning, into launch design, into funnel design, into all these marketing and communications and positioning, into all these aspects of your business. And the most powerful thing is, I find when people come to me, they've tried certain business models and it hasn't stuck. And they're like, "I'm trying and I can't seem to move forward and I keep getting stuck. Like, it's not working." And why is it working for someone else? Why is it working for my mentor, but yet it's not working for me? And that's a clue. Whenever I hear people say, "I'm trying this system and it's working for so and so, but it's not working for me," that tells me there's an energetic misalignment. Okay. People throw this term around all the time of like alignment. And what does it even mean? So when there's an energetic misalignment, it means the strategies and the actions you're employing are not a match for your energetic code. And so you're literally trying to put a square peg into a round hole. And then what happens? If you try to force something that's not an energetic alignment for you, you start to take on this oh, something's wrong with me, or maybe I'm bad at this, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not worthy of success. And it starts to become these like messed up personal identities that aren't, that's not a reflection of the truth. It's simply a matter of not understanding what's your code, what's unique to you, and what is your energetic makeup say about the way you need to be moving forward in life and in business. What type of strategies work for you, right? Hello, Donna. I'm so glad you're here with me. And it's so fun because I'm a ruling number 7. I think Donna's a ruling number 7 as well. If you know your ruling number, I'm going to teach you the calculation in a second. But if you know what it is, pop it in the chat and let me know. If you come across numerology at all in any other way, pop it in the chat, let me know. It is an intuitive science, an art where you use the language of numbers to interpret energy. And it's really powerful because we are not making this up, right? And it allows people's intuition to expand because they're basing it on a structure that will allow their intuition to grow. So I love it. It's so fun. It's so powerful. Hello, Kelly. Kelly's an 8. I'm seeing comments show up and then disappear. Oh, yay. Okay, I see Tovi. You're an 11. Amazing. Yes, and I do monthly numerology forecasts as well every single month to help you to understand how the energy is unfolding so you can work with it versus against it. And what do I mean by like energetic alignment with it versus against it, right? So with it, it's like flowing downstream versus against it, it's like fighting against the current. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be different. You are who you are, but yet how you make decisions, how you navigate things, it's going to make more sense and be more in flow when you are energetically aligned. And so that is the foundation of prosperity codes, is really understanding that there are energetic patterns all around me, within me and around me in the people and around me in the collective. And if I'm aware of those patterns, I don't need to ignore them and fight against them and then take it personal, like something's wrong with me, when actually I can work with them, be in flow, and see the results actually show up in a way that's meaningful to me. So that's my goal for you today. Yes, I love, Toby, that you're using numbers every day. They're so powerful. And I came to numerology from an unexpected way. My background's actually in economics, and I was an economic forecaster for many years before I came across this beautiful science and art and modality that helps to interpret energy with the numbers. So numbers can be both analytical as well as very energetic. In fact, one of the founding fathers of numerology is Pythagoras, who is the math dude we all hear about in elementary math to calculate the sides of a triangle, right? So super powerful. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. First of all, we're gonna do calculate your ruling number. So if you see the link, you can click the link to get my download, and it will have all the formulas and the descriptions in it. But let's do this together really quick. If you don't know your ruling number, all you do is you take all the digits of your birthday, so day, month, and the 4-digit year, and you add them all up, okay? So I'm February 5th, 1980, so I would add like 251980, right? Add them all up. And when I do that, I get the number 25. So I want you to try that for yourself, add up all the numbers, and then if you have a number bigger than 11, which most of us probably do, unless there's some, I don't know what the generation's called. Is it Generation Alpha? Born from 2000 on. Some of them might have a little number, right? So most of us have big numbers though, if we're born in 19 something or other. So if you get 25 or 34 or 22 or 71 or whatever, you collapse them together again and add them up. So 25 for me, 2 plus 5 is the 7. Okay, that's how you calculate your ruling number. Yay, Laura's a 3. I love it. When you look at your ruling number and you look at the guide I'm sharing with you, I can't really go through all of the numbers super in detail, but let me just quickly take a peek at, I'll share the 3 and the 7 because I know we have a couple 7s here. So as a ruling number 3, you're so creative, right? So really using your creativity to solve challenges. You have a very strong abundance mindset that's available to you as long as you don't get stuck in your head and overthinking. You're also brilliant at taking concepts and turning them into reality. Those are the natural gifts you carry as a ruling number 3. Let's look at the number 7 really quick because I've got a few 7s on here as well. So 7 is a very intuitive number. You're really meant to trust your intuition through uncertainty. You're meant to kind of forge a new path for other people to follow. And that connection you have with insight is meant to inspire confidence in others. We've got a ruling number 8. I'll share the 8 super quick. So 8s are all about mastery, dedication, devotion, and commitment. It is about going deep and not being okay with the surface level conversations. They're also very, very empathic and have the ability to tap into really high levels of abundance. So knowing that, I made a little diagram for you guys, like 3 little circles that I'd love to invite you to print out or doodle it on, a piece of paper and tape it to your wall, where you can go through my description and pull out 2 or 3 of those gifts that really resonate with you and write them down so that when you're taking action going forward into the next 12 months, you remember to take action from a place of your strengths. And this is so important because you were designed the way you are for a very particular reason. And when you learn to work with it versus against it, so many opportunities will open up and unfold for you. It's an incredibly powerful way to honor the nature that you are, because when you do, there's also this concept of a soulmate client code. But there are people out there who are looking for the exact energy that you were born to embody. So if you're not embodying it, they can't find you. Whereas when you're willing to embody it and act and make decisions and take actions from that place, they can see you and they can feel you. And this is something we can tap into if you were to choose to do a business activation with me to discover your soulmate client codes, to get that even deeper, richer understanding of who are those people who are out there coded to work with me? Who are those people who are out there that I'm coded to support, right? That takes it even a level deeper. But to start with, knowing your ruling number and allowing yourself to embody the strengths and the gifts associated with it, so much magic opens up, right? As soon as I brought numerology into my business coaching practice and I started to understand the codes of the clients I was working with, mind blowing, because you would not give the same strategy to a ruling number 4 as you would to a ruling number 8. You wouldn't give the same techniques to a ruling number 6 as you would to a ruling number 7. They're different, right? And so working with those differences as gifts and assets, a whole world of opportunity opens up. Okay, so the first code is your ruling number. So you'll know what the number is. You will get the gifts of that in the guide. Comment guide if you don't have it, and I will drop the link. And the next piece is the second code we're going to talk about is the universal year code. Okay, so the universal year code is the easiest one to calculate. You just add up the digits of the year. So we're in 2024 right now, so it's literally 2 + 2 + 4. Okay, simple as that. Universal energy 8. Okay, for the year. We're moving into a 9 energy year in 2025. Okay, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. Sometimes I feel like an elementary math teacher. Yes, you can use your fingers. That's totally fine. But I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, like, what's the 9 going to look like? We have this association with 9 being endings, loss, and completion. Because when you look at the numbers 1 through 9, all the single digit numbers, 9's the last number. And yes, there are truths to that. 9 does equal endings. 9 does equal completion. 9 is like this come full circle, complete cycle moment. It's also the moment of the caterpillar going into the cocoon, right? It's also associated with the death and rebirth cycle. It's also associated with the Hermit card in tarot, which for those of you who are familiar is this idea of like standing on the mountaintop with an entire view above you, below you. So 9 is this idea of the bird's eye view, the come full circle moment, and the wisdom that comes from having been on a journey. And so what I really want to impart about this idea of the number 9, particularly with this universal year coming up, is that when we take the approach of the 9 being like, I need to see the higher perspective and I need to hold a higher standard, that is the invitation you are being invited into. So if you've experienced challenges in 2024 or like uncomfortable and crunchy, difficult contrast, the invitation is, where is my standard? How do I raise the standard? How do I take, because like, let's be real. When you go through intense, difficult times or crunchy contrast, you learn a lot. You learn so much about who you are, who you don't want to be, who the people in your world are, and who you don't want in your world anymore. You learn a new way of being, and that wisdom becomes integrated into who you are so that you can raise the standard in your life. You can set a new way forward. That's a choice. And that's where the 9, it's not passive, it's not happening to us. You can stay on that cycle and repeat it, or you can say, I'm going to take the wisdom and I'm going to forge a new path, which is why 9's also associated with leadership, right? That higher perspective, bird's eye view of I'm going to forge a new path forward. And so I really want you to think about this in your goal setting when you're moving forward for the next 12 months of like, what have I learned that's going to be integrated wisdom that I didn't have with me before, that allows me to raise the standard, that allows me to raise the bar in my life for myself and the people I care about, whether it's clients, family, loved one, whatever, right? And really letting yourself embody that higher perspective wisdom. 9 is also the mirror. And so what I mean by that is you will have things mirrored back to you, things you like and things you don't like, things you want to participate in and things you don't want to participate in. And it's asking you to embody leadership and choose, and don't be a victim to the circumstances around you. Decide, like, I'm not playing these games anymore. This is where I'm headed, right? And so it's a huge opportunity. I'm kind of calling 2025 separation season, which is this idea that you can stay on the merry-go-round if you want. That's totally a valid choice. Or if you're ready to step into that up level in leadership, that's up to you, and you can, and it's fully available to you. Right? So that is the second code I want you to consider is if you are a professional space holder for other people, if you care and want to make a difference with your clients, your loved ones, the people you support, recognizing that this is going to be coming up for them. If you are good at helping people break cycles, this is going to be your year. If you are good at helping people step into wisdom, step into leadership, any of the work that you're doing, I would encourage you to really bring those elements forward, because that's what people want and need this year, right? And if you have the ability to help them with that, your work is going to be so needed. So again, look at the ruling number, or sorry, the universal year 9 in the guide I sent you. Pull out 2 or 3 of those pieces that you are like, oh, I can do this. I can help with this. This is a piece of my genius. This is a piece I want to take forward. And put it on your little diagram so that you can continue to remind yourself as you create content, as you create marketing, as you make decisions in life and business about where you're headed. You can keep that top of mind to stay in energetic alignment with that universal energy. Okay, so that's code number 2. And then some of you already are getting the sneak preview of code number 3, which is your personal year. So we're all operating in a universal year, which is the same, but we also have our own personal year cycle as well. So how do you calculate your personal year? All you do is you look at your month and your date of birth. Okay, so the month and the day you were born, and then you look at the universal year. Now, I'm going to give you a slight distinction. If this is over anyone's head, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You can ignore this. But if you're like a numbers geek like me and you want to be precise, your personal year starts on your birthday. So if your birthday, in the book example I shared in the guide, if your birthday is in April, you are going to be in the personal year attached to 2024 until April hits. Then once April hits, you're in a personal year attached to 2025. This is my personal take on it. As someone who's trained thousands of people in numerology at this point in my life, some people will say you can start it on January 1st. That's a personal choice, but I believe it starts on the month you were born. So yeah, Toby, if you were born, I don't know when you were born, but let's just say you were born in November, then you actually just started your 2024 personal year, and you will carry that through up till November, and then you'll switch into the 2025 personal year. Okay. So it kind of is, it can be a little maybe more confusing. Yeah. So then you're just a few months in. If your birthday is in August, you're just a few months into your 2024 personal year, and you're going to carry that until August. And then when August hits and then you have your birthday, then you'll be in your 2025 personal year where you add month, day, 2025. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. But what does your personal year have to do with prosperity codes? Your personal year is like relates to your own personal hero's journey. It's how you are meant to navigate and unfold in your life, right? And so every single number carries a pattern and an energy with it. Some you carry with for your lifetime, which would be like your code of your birthday. Some you cycle in and out of, right? A personal year is something you will cycle in and out of. And it's going to have certain actions that are more supported versus less supportive, right? So for example, I'm currently in a personal year 6, okay? So my month plus my day plus 2024 breaks into a 6. 6 is about focus on family. It's about harmonization. It's about relationships. It's about your loved ones. It's about karmic adjustments in your life. And oh my God, that could not be more true for me this year. My parents lost their house in a wildfire last year. So we've done a lot of work with the family, trying to help them recover from that, trying to sort through insurance and permits and all this kind of stuff to help them to rebuild, like tending to their mental and emotional as they deal with the loss of a 47-year-old property, all this kind of stuff, right? And even with my children, when I look at what they're going through. And then if I apply that to my business, it's about smoothing out the rough edges. 6 is harmony, okay? Balancing the feminine, the masculine, balancing the yin and the yang, balancing the black and the white. It's smoothing out the rough edges. It's a recalibration and reintegration time. And wow, that's been so true in my business. I have taken so many of the pieces that I've had kind of scattered and structured and organized them in a way that they're more sustainable. That is a key element of 6 energy. So when you're thinking of your goals, look at the energy that you're personally going to be doing and align them. If I had chosen to, let's say, travel a lot, or if I had chosen to, let's say, go in a whole new direction in my business, I would have been fighting against the current. I needed to be in that flow of smoothing out the rough edges, reintegrating some pieces, and I needed to spend time with my family. That was really critical. However, in a 5 energy year, it's like, go travel, go wander the earth, go get inspiration from adventure, right? Let yourself be wild and free. So wherever you happen to be, it's going to give you very key actions to take. If you want to know what those actions are, comment guide, and I will share the guide that has the formula to calculate it. And you guys, I am really proud of the little diagram I made. So if you use it, like if you print it out and fill out, the goal being you've got a number in each of the circles, and you've got written down beside each of the circles the key aspects that you're going to take forward to implement with your strategy and your energetic alignment for the next 12 months. Take a picture and DM me on Instagram or text it to me or whatever, because I want to see. Either doodle it and put it on your vision board, or cut it out, print it and cut it out, tape it to your wall, so that these codes can stay top of mind to you, right? If you have a 2 prominent, you're going to really want to focus on collaboration. If you have a 1 prominent, there's going to be new activations and new initiations starting. And so be prepared to create space for new in your life. If you have a 4 prominent, it's going to be asking you to be structured and organized and create systems and foundations for you to lean on. If you have an 8 prominent, it's going to be asking you to be devoted and disciplined and dial in your level of mastery. All of us are there right now, exiting out of that. And, a lot of people were saying to me, I thought 8 was about abundance. I don't feel like I was particularly abundant this year. And if that was you, I want you to invite in the exploration of what happened this year that supported you to go even deeper into your level of skill and mastery, right? Because that depth of skill and mastery equals abundance when it's applied. And so if you don't feel like, I didn't see abundance like money in the bank, well, but did you see mastery? Did you see a strengthening of your gifts and who you are? Because that's actually the more, I would say, almost relevant energy with the eight, because that stays with you forever, right? That is who you are. So, okay, I feel like I've used up my 20 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer, but I've loved this conversation. Thank you so much. Yes, Baya, I will send you the guide. It's totally going to be your year as an 11. Oh, I'm so excited. Tovi, thank you for being here, everyone. So, a couple of things really quick. Number one, comment guide, and you'll get the guide to download and calculate all of these numbers with my descriptions. It's a thorough, like, I don't even know, it's like 20 pages or something with all the information that you need that you can just reference. Okay. Number two, I'm doing a 2025 forecast. If you would like to attend, it's going to be an entire like hour to 90 minutes where I dive into what's unfolding in 2025, as well as specific dates to be aware of. If you would like to attend, comment 2025 and I will send you the invitation. It's totally free. And if you want to go deeper on your personal chart, whether it's your abundance business activation, which is understanding about how you show up in business, or it's a numerology forecast, which is how your energy is going to be unfolding over the next 12 months, send me a note. I would love to dive into that. I do have some Black Friday sales on the go. And I cannot wait to connect with you. Mostly I want to see you guys' cut out little diagrams because I want to see the prosperity codes in action. So thank you so much for being here. If you could pop in the chat for me and let me know, what was the number one takeaway that you got from today's call? What did you hear that you needed? What sunk in? What landed for you? What was that little spark of inspiration that you got that you needed? I can't wait to read them. And I am just sending you so much love. Mwah. We'll talk to you soon.